Picture a room. Inside, a child sits at a table. In front of them is a single, fluffy marshmallow. A researcher gives them a simple choice. You can eat this one marshmallow right now, or, if you can wait for me to come back, you'll get 2 marshmallows instead. This was the setup for the now famous Stanford marshmallow experiment, a study that began in the late 1960s and early 1970s under the guidance of psychologist Walter Mischel. What started as a simple test of willpower in children would unfold over decades to reveal something profound about the human condition and the keys to a successful life. The initial experiment was straightforward. The children, all around 4 to 6 years old, were left alone in the room with the treat. Some kids gave in to temptation almost immediately, gobbling up the marshmallow within seconds. Others struggled valiantly. They covered their eyes, turned their backs, sang songs, or kicked the desk, anything to distract themselves from the tantalizing treat sitting right in front of them. And a select few managed to hold out for the full 15 to 20 minutes until the researcher returned, earning their promised reward of a second marshmallow. On the surface, it was just a cute observation of how different kids handle temptation. But the true power of this study wasn't in what happened in that room, it was in what happened decades later. The researchers didn't just pack up and go home. They decided to track these children as they grew up. They followed them through adolescence, into their college years, and well into their adult lives. What they discovered was nothing short of revolutionary. The ability to delay gratification, to resist that one marshmallow for the promise of 2 later, turned out to be a startlingly accurate predictor of future success. The children who had waited, the ones who demonstrated impulse control, consistently outperformed their peers who had eaten the marshmallow right away. The differences were not small or trivial, they were significant and spanned across almost every major area of life. Academically, the waiters had higher SAT scores. They were more likely to attend and graduate from college, and they were rated by their parents and teachers as being more competent, intelligent, and able to handle stress. Think about what that means. A simple, 15-minute test of willpower at age 4 could forecast, with surprising accuracy, how well someone would do in their academic career more than a decade later. It wasn't that these children were inherently more intelligent. Instead, their ability to control their impulses allowed them to apply their intelligence more effectively. They could put off playing to finish their homework. They could study for an exam instead of watching a movie. They chose the long-term reward of good grades over the short-term pleasure of immediate distraction. The implications didn't stop at academics. The follow-up studies, which continued for over 40 years, painted an even clearer picture. As adults, the group that had delayed gratification was, on average, healthier. They had lower body mass indexes, BMIs, and were less likely to struggle with weight-related issues. This makes intuitive sense. The same mental muscle that allows a child to resist a marshmallow is what helps an adult choose a healthy meal over a tempting dessert or to stick with a consistent exercise routine. It's the ability to say no to the immediate pleasure for the sake of a long-term goal, in this case, physical well-being. They understood, perhaps instinctively, that the small, consistent choices made every day add up to a lifetime of health. And what about wealth and financial success? Here, too, the results were striking. The individuals who had waited for the second marshmallow grew up to have better-paying jobs, more stable careers, and greater financial security. This is the very essence of building wealth. It requires delaying the gratification of spending money now in order to save and invest for a more secure future. It's choosing to put money into a retirement account instead of buying the latest gadget. It's resisting the impulse to live beyond your means and instead building a foundation of financial stability brick by brick, saved dollar by saved dollar. The mindset is identical, foregoing a small, immediate reward for a much larger one down the road. The core lesson from the marshmallow experiment is that impulse control isn't just a nice trait to have, it's arguably one of the single most important predictors of a prosperous and healthy life. It's a foundational skill upon which other successes are built. So, how did the successful children manage to wait? What was their secret? Mischel's research also shed light on this. It wasn't about raw, brute force willpower. It was about strategy. The children who succeeded were the ones who found ways to distract themselves. They reframed the situation in their minds. Instead of seeing a delicious, tempting marshmallow, they learned to see it as just an object, a cotton ball, or a picture. They mentally cooled down the hot stimulus of immediate desire. This is a powerful insight. It tells us that self-control is a skill that can be learned and practiced, not just an inborn trait you either have or don't. We can all learn to be better at delaying gratification by changing how we think about our temptations. If you're trying to save money, don't just stare at the thing you want to buy. Instead, focus on the image of your future financial freedom. If you're trying to eat healthier, don't focus on the cake in front of you. Think about how great you'll feel tomorrow, how much energy you'll have, and the long-term health you're building. Shift your focus from the immediate pleasure to the greater future reward. The marshmallow test has been revisited and re-examined over the years, with new studies adding more nuance. Some research suggests that a child's trust in the person promising the reward plays a role. If they don't believe the researcher will actually come back with a second marshmallow, why wait? This highlights the importance of our environment. If we grow up in an environment where promises are consistently broken, it's logical to take what you can get right now. But the core principle remains incredibly powerful. In a world filled with endless distractions and opportunities for instant gratification, from fast food to social media notifications, the ability to delay, to be patient, and to focus on long-term goals has never been more critical. Every day, we face our own marshmallow tests. Do you binge watch another episode or get a good night's sleep? Do you scroll through your phone or have a meaningful conversation with a loved one? Do you spend that bonus on a whim or invest it for your future? Each of these choices is a test of your ability to prioritize the person you want to become over the fleeting desires of the moment. The story of the marshmallow test is a timeless reminder that the greatest rewards in life often come to those who are willing to wait. It teaches us that self-control is the master key that unlocks the doors to health, wealth, and fulfillment. It's not about depriving yourself of joy. It's about choosing a deeper, more lasting joy over a superficial, temporary one. It's about understanding that the best things in life are worth waiting for. For more insights that can help you build a better future, remember to subscribe to our channel, Motivational Repo. We're dedicated to bringing you the knowledge and inspiration you need to achieve your biggest goals.